grab some popcorn, because we got 100 things that the Disney trilogy messed up. So this is from one of my favorite Reddits, and I'm going to get right into it because we got a lot of them here. Number 1. Made Luke into a coward who hid while his friends got murdered. Absolutely agreed. Number 2. Destroyed Han. Made him into a bum, deadbeat father and husband. I've gone through this 100 times. Just because Kylo turned to the dark side doesn't mean Han changes careers. Makes no sense. Map it onto real life, okay? I got sons. If something terrible happened in their life where they changed, I would not just drop my job for a worse job. Ridiculous. Destroyed Leia. Made her into a militant and idiotic general. Yeah, not destroyed in the same way as Luke and Han, but I could agree. Leia just felt a little odd. Number 4. Anakin Skywalker is no longer the chosen one. We've got some arguments about how, well, it's the Force fighting, not actually people fighting, not bloodlines, all kind of bullcrap. Look, the mythos is he is the chosen one. It works good that way. Number 6. Holdo maneuver. Totally destroyed space battles. Absolutely. The simple logic, I'm sorry, it's the correct answer, is if they did it that time, they could do it again. Number 7. Made Luke into a maniac who wanted to murder his nephew who had dark thoughts. There was a meme about Ben and Luke on Dagobah, and Ben said something like, Luke, could you kill your own father? He's like, no way. Luke, could you kill a nephew? He's like, yep, I could do that. And when you look at it like that, that there too makes no sense. Killed off the big bad in movie 2. Yep, killing Snoke in The Last Jedi kind of caused problems. Because of 8, they had to resurrect Palpatine. And yes, that caused another problem. The resurrection of Palpatine didn't work on a basic level because first of all, they didn't even explain it. Second of all, it wasn't touched upon in 7 and 8. So even on that basic level right there, it doesn't work. Kylo could bring people back to life, while the Chosen One could not bring back his mother. Yeah, with the healing, there's so many inconsistencies now. Why didn't Ben just heal Qui-Gon? For that matter, why didn't Luke just heal Vader? Why didn't anybody just heal anybody? It just really hurts it, unless it's some new power. That's not explained. You need explanations for some of these things. I'm not expecting everything to be explained. Absolutely not. But, with too few explanations, it don't look so good. Not even a single mention of the great Padme. Hey, I know, right? They're pushing for the female power, yet they don't even mention Padme at all? Good point. Number 12, barely a mention of Anakin and no Force Ghost. Yeah, so Anakin's voice at the very end, in Rey's head, something like, bring balance to Force like I once did, but he's not really mentioned. Luke mentions Vader in a deleted scene, but yeah, barely. Rey being able to stop a massive ship in mid-flight while Yoda struggled to move a pillar in Episode 2. Yeah, her power balance is so out of whack. It's just, I would say, ridiculous. We've been through it in detail, so can't go there. Not with this long list in front of us. Rey being able to heal a mortal wound, Anakin would have loved that trick with his mom. Well, kind of similar to what he set up before. Death Star 3, bigger is better, give me a break. Death Star 4, smaller is better, give me a break. Yeah, sizing was a little off. And, the whole Force Awakens thing was bigger, better, bigger, better. It kind of irritated me. Finn knowing where everything was and Starkiller Base he was a janitor. Yep, been through that. Rey falling in love with a guy who abused her physically, mentally, and psychologically. I'm not a fan of Reylo, and I think it's a bit of a stretch that they'd fall for each other. Rey being able to fight with anger and rage, yet does not even come close to turning to the dark side. Yeah, there's not even any real serious flirtation with the dark side with Rey. It's just she sues through everything. She doesn't need advice from anyone. She's only scared of herself. Having no lightsaber duels with experienced Jedi in The Force Awakens, and, that goes for, like he's saying here in 21, The Last Jedi, we just get no good lightsaber fights. I do, in this rare case, defend the Disney trilogy lightsaber fights because they should be clunky and bad and slow, but it doesn't help that we didn't get a good one. Luke dying from exhaustion, Leia dying from exhaustion. Okay, I'll give you that, 22 and 23. Kyle's redemption, not earned at all. Absolutely. Mary Poppins. Well, Leia Mary Poppins. 26. Luke not having a lightsaber battle. I agree. I won't say that's a mess up, but I personally would have liked to see that. 27. Palpatine using Force Lightning to paralyze an entire fleet of ships. Okay. 28. Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter. Dumb. Yeah, I think overall the whole plotline didn't work because a lot of people have pointed out that the whole Skywalker saga goes down to Palpatine's fighting it out for the family name or the family place in the universe, and it kind of undermines the whole Skywalker saga. No explanation how the First Order came to power so quickly. Yep, one of those no explanations. Okay, there's going to be a few of those. No explanation how the New Republic crumbled so quickly. No explanation how Palpatine survived the destruction of Death Star 2. Not even mentioning that Luke's lightsaber was Anakin's. Having Leia defeat Luke in training stupid. Yeah, I've said this, that, they had to make it a point that Leia knocked Luke down at the end, and I guess what they were thinking, you have to fill in with your head. Probably when she gets him down, that means her training is complete, but just saying, not sure why they'd show it. Not explaining why Kylo turned to the dark side. I guess they didn't, did they? They said Snoke did it, but there wasn't, any serious detail as to why. Rey destroying Kylo in The Force Awakens with zero training, and the training she got, in The Rise of Skywalker wasn't that much, and she beat Kylo again, and it's not like Kylo doesn't have training. 36. Finn having zero pause killing his former mates. Yeah, exactly. We know they screwed up Finn totally. Instead of having him as a good character, building up psychological, logical things from the Switch, they have him with Rose Tico, and then he's Rey's cheerleading squad, basically. He yells for Rey. He's like, Rey! Rey! When she's in trouble, but she's never actually in trouble, and his screams never actually help her avoid the danger, so he's just a useless Rey cheerleader. Number 37, Rey being a better pilot with the Falcon than Han Solo with zero experience. Yeah, best argument people have is it's easy to fly ships in Star Wars, and I'll kind of give him that, but, come on. Rey being able to move thousands of boulders with zero effort. Yep, we know this. She was very, very powerful in The Last Jedi, way too powerful. Rey being able to levitate, well, he kind of smudged it here a little bit. So this is like the 80 messed up parts list, because he's kind of combining two, but let's keep going. Defeating the greatest Darkstalkers of all time only takes 2 lightsabers. 41. Space chase that takes 60 minutes. 42. Akbar's pathetic death. Absolutely. 43. Sea cows. Absolutely. Just seriously retarded. 44. Not a single second of Luke, Leia, and Han together. Yep, that I would say is a mess up. 45. Not showing Luke mourn Han's death. Yep, yeah, it's such a logical scene to include. 46. Leia hugs Rey instead of Chewie after Han dies. Absolutely. Holy hell. Yes, yes, yes. She walks right by Chewie. Is that a ridiculous mess up? But JJ did admit it was a mess up. The Final Order was hiding for 40 years. Dumb. Number 48. R2-D2 doing nothing so Disney can sell the new droids. Yeah, man. R2 played a very weak role in that. Although he had probably the best scene in the entire trilogy, which was with Luke and Leia's hologram, he didn't get to do much. 49. Rey is able to do a Force mind trick without any training or even knowing she is Force sensitive. Yeah, he's combining these here, but it was still kind of like one of the big separate issues with her being too powerful. 50. Rey being able to beat Kylo during a mind probe without any training. Yeah, so she doesn't only beat him physically, but she beats him, psychologically in the mind. 51. Phasma turns off the shields on Starkiller Base. Laugh out loud. 52. Starkiller Base destroying multiple planets at a time. Lazy. Lazy, or again, going back to bigger and better. 53. Rey Finn thought Luke was a legend myth. Come on, bro. It's been only 30 years. And, everyone believes the Emperor was alive and died and came back, but, Luke was mysterious. Just one of those things that suffers when they don't plan it out. Maz Kanata has Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber for no reason. Yep, they didn't explain that. That would have been a nice one to explain. I would have let them go on that if some other stuff was going to be explained. I guess... I don't know. I really don't know. There's some theories out there, but they don't explain it. 55. Knights surrendered nothing at all. Sure. Like Phasma, they were just there, in cool suits. 56. Force Awakens is basically a remake of A New Hope. That's one of the big ones. 57. The entire New Republic was on one planet. Okay. 58. Luke left a clue where he was. Why? He wanted to disappear. I think they tried to explain that at some point, but it was probably just them trying to explain it. There's really no good reason. 59. Sith left a clue where the Sith planet was. Why? They wanted to be a secret. 60. Ridiculous string of fetch quests in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I'd consider that a mistake. That writing is so bad it's a mistake. 61. Rey, the most powerful Force user of all time, has trouble beating a training droid in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, come on, think about it. They ever doing all this stuff and then she's like back to square one and she can't like hit a training droid? Little weird. 62. Rey could speak Wookiee, really? I mean, I don't know. Did she definitively speak Wookiee, conversation-wise? I'm not sure, but even understanding just some of it, I mean, probably most people in the world, how many languages can you actually understand? Even just like one word. So, pretty bad. Canto Bite wasted everyone's time. Yes, that was a terrible scene across the board. It's not really defended by anybody. 64, Yo Mama joke with Hux, terrible. Yes, not the place for a joke. Star Wars is not the place for a Yo Mama's joke. Absolutely a mistake. Slow AF Rebel bombers in The Last Jedi. Absolutely. So if they had those things Ben was dropping in episode 2, would have been great. Those like probe bomb things, but they had like these weird, clunky bombers. Awkward. 66, Force Ghost Yoda being able to affect the physical work. Probably he meant world. Lore breaking. I'm kind of cool with that. I won't consider that a mistake, but okay, I could see some people might want to be purists and stick to the lore. 67, all the past Jedi give Rey power. She could have come in handy for Luke in the Return of the Jedi or for Yoda in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I mean, a lot of first time evers for Rey. 68, Rey being a nobody, then being literally a Palpatine in the next movie. Yeah, they kind of smudged that, like, so she ended up technically being a nobody, but not really. So, again, one of those things without having the plan, the continuity gets messed up. 69, Kylo Ren constantly throws temper tantrums. Yeah, kind of weird. It's very kind of babyish. Didn't work so well for me. 70, Snoke seems like a threat but is instantly tricked and killed by Kylo. Pretty infamous mistake right there. 71, Holdo was a hero for her suicide, but Finn is called a dummy for trying. Yeah, he got them there. 72, Holdo and Leia do a terrible job of communicating with the troops. 73, so now ships run out of gas. How pedestrian. Yep. Big. No. Spaceships running out of gas? That sounds absolutely silly to me. Luke's X-Wing was still flyable. Why didn't he go to Crate to save his sister? Well, we've been through that. He didn't want to. Or, I guess he didn't have time. 75, everyone gets sucked out into space from the blown up bridge, but when they open the door for Leia, nobody gets sucked out. Yeah, I guess it's one of those technical things. I guess I'm not all up in the science there, but yeah, probably they should have got sucked out. 76, Rose was mad Finn was deserting the rebels, yet a few minutes later she does the same thing to go to Canto Bite. Kind of. I mean, I guess she was on a mission, not like deserting them, but, okay. 77, Rose wants to save a space horse, but not the children. Abso-freaking-lutely. People have said this. Alright, I get it. We all love animals. I love animals. But, what about the kids first? The human kids? Good point. 78, dropping bombs in space is pretty dumb. Yeah, kind of is. They don't quite fall like they're falling through air, do they? 79, why don't one of the First Order ships light speed ahead of the Resistance in Last Jedi? Number 80, First Order didn't scan for ships in The Last Jedi until DJ told them their plan. 81, Snoke was going to kill Rey, Palpatine's granddaughter. Pretty sure Palpatine didn't authorize that. Because, people were like, he could have killed her right away. I'm not even sure he could have. And now we know if he was just a clone, then, I don't know, could he have actually killed Rey? Probably not. So Rey was pretty much never actually really threatened. 82, Rey's a Mary Sue. I know about that, and I will eventually make a video about it, and it's going to be badass. 83, Rey has a new yellow lightsaber but never uses it. Can't quite count that as a mistake. Why would Rey bury Luke Leia's lightsaber on Tatooine? Luke hated the place and Leia had no connection to it at all. Good point. 85, Rose lectures Finn about rich people enslaving the poor. Hello, Finn was literally a slave. Yeah, I know. Kinda could have been the other way around, but they needed to have, Rose lecture Finn. 86, in the Last Jedi, the Resistance is down to 15 people on one ship, and we are to believe they have everything they need to win. Also, there's kind of like some awkward happiness among them. It's not a very dark moment. It's not really executed very well. I guess you can't quite call that a mistake exactly, but it's like really poor execution. 87, how the heck did Lando muster 10,000 resistance ships in a few hours? Good question. 88, Palpatine said if Rey killed him, his spirit would enter her. Rey killed him. Nothing happened. Yeah, please explain if you're against this list. 89, Rey beats up Luke. Well, alright, this is complicated. I've watched the scene, and he pretty much dodges everything, and he's pretty much being a pacifist and refusing to hit back, kind of. But it's still silly. He could have just, kind of force-pushed her away and said, stop, I got this. So, yeah, I'd say that was pretty dumb. 91, then it says it needs to be honored in the next movie. 92, Rey shoots down 3 TIE fighters with one shot. Are you serious? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, pretty silly there. 93. Han went from selfish prick to unselfish hero in the OT. He went back to being a selfish prick in the Disney trilogy. Yeah, absolutely no continuity, no sticking with a character trait. You know, he just kind of flip-flops all over. 94. Luke is a Force Ghost called a lightsaber. Why even have Jedi? Just let the Force Ghost take down the First Order. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they only have a limited time as a Force Ghost to do things, but it screws things up. Would have been better to have Force Ghosts uninvolved, or maybe you could hear them at best, obviously, but it's weird. It's weird. 95. First Order, Final Order. Did a 10-year-old write this? Yep. It's a little simplistic on the dialogue. 96. Why is Kylo worshipping Vader mask? Doesn't he know that he left the dark side? If not, why didn't Luke Leia tell him? 96. Why is Kylo worshipping a Vader mask? Doesn't he know he left the dark side? If not, why didn't Luke Leia tell him? Yeah, I mean, Vader had a full arc and he did come back to the good. So, it's kind of weird. Like, Kylo has that line, I'm going to finish what you started, but it's not really clear exactly what Vader started for him to finish, as far as Kylo being on the evil side and finishing something evil. You could tell me. It's unclear to me. 97. The dead speak. 98. And we have no idea what the dead said unless you played a certain video game. 99. Zoe Bliss hated Poe. Then 10 minutes later she gives him her most valuable possession. 100. The most memorable scene in the entire trilogy is a shirtless Kylo Ren. Ugh. Okay, so this guy smudged a few of them, but I guess all in all, I'd give him like about 70 of these being pretty good points. Even if it's repeated, it doesn't matter. They're pretty good points. Anyway, this isn't my normal filming area. I'm out in the mountains in Japan, so I just kind of in like a hut here. Walls are really thin and I'm freezing my ass off. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks. Do a shoutout right now. Shout out to this guy, Max Jeremy. He followed me, subscribed to the channel. Thank you, sir. And he's obviously Mad Max and Jeremy. And I had a fun time with Mad Max and Jeremy. I guess I'll maybe talk about that sometime. And I screw up the end of videos like I just did. So if you like that kind of thing, smash the subscribe button, press it, click it, see how bad this is going, but it's the end. So if any part of the video goes bad, it should be the end. That's it.